The early 90s saw a sudden explosion of comic books. The fuckers were everywhere. You had your obvious superheroes like Superman, Spider-Man, Batman, the X-Men. Yeah, when it comes to comics, everything's man. Personally, I was more into the whacked out, obscure stuff, like Death's Head, who's some fucked up cyborg in kind of like a sci-fi setting. I don't know why, I just love that guy. Ugh, these old comic books smell like shit. Most superheroes live by some sort of moral code, upholding justice, saving the day so everyone can go to sleep at night, and all that shit. Until a young Todd McFarlane left Marvel Comics and unleashed his balls-to-the-walls anti-hero, Spawn, to all of us misunderstood, grungy 90s teens.
Spawn was fucking awesome. Forget all those other goody-goodies. If you fuck with Al Simmons, aka Spawn, he's not taking you to jail. He's pulling out your fucking intestines, shoving them down your throat, and then pulling them through your ass again.
Hell, in one of the earliest issues, he mutilates a child molester who drives an ice cream truck. No, we're not talking about Sweet Tooth. He's too busy looking for paper bags and shit. Anyway, even if you're a dumbass like me with terrible ADD who has no attention span and can't sit still for longer than 3 seconds to take in a plot, at least the characters and pictures were cool as shit to look at. Of course, some of the best comic book characters have great backstories, and Spawn's was badass. Basically, Al Simmons was an assassin, died, went to hell, made a deal with the devil, in this case Malbolgia, and was brought back to the land of the living as a hellspawn to do Malbolgia's bidding. But instead, Spawn tells him to go fuck himself. There's a lot more to it, but Spawn's origins have been narrated and discussed for the past 20 years, and besides, Google and Wikipedia are just a click away. Or, better yet, go grab some of the comic books. In addition to comics, Todd McFarlane's Spawn empire has entered other forms of media, like animation, a live-action film, highly successful action figures, and lastly, video games, which is what we're going to take a look at today. I got a bunch of Spawn video games we're going to play.
Some I remember, some I don't. But let's see how that edgy, burnt to a crisp, badass motherfucker fared on the Game Boy Color.
Alrighty, well, we're 30 seconds in, and Spawn just shot a dog. Holy shit. I seriously have no idea what to expect from here on out. The graphics aren't phenomenal, but they're really not that bad. Plus, it's on a handheld system, so it gets a pass. The animation is pretty smooth. Character sprites have all kinds of little details, though the faces are emotionless like mannequins and freaky as hell. Why is this guy shirtless for no reason? Before I move on, we gotta talk about the controls. Good God, the jumping sucks Astaroth's ass. Tapping the jump button is the short quick jump, while holding it down is a longer higher one. But because of this, there's a slight delay, which is hard to explain unless you play it yourself. It's not really that big of a deal, except for here, where I can't get my jump timing right and I keep flying off these fucking scaffolds while trying to get up the building. Fuck! Oh my god! Oh, and of course, the enemies respawn and get in your way and knock you back down. Ugh! Oh my fucking god. Another thing that's bullshit is you can't jump and shoot, because Spawn does this weird glide jump kick when you press the attack button in midair, so that just fucks things up more for these platforming segments. Speaking of guns and shooting, Spawn starts barehanded, but when you find a firearm, they're displayed with just a simple letter. Like, here, the letter G, meaning just plain old gun, I guess. I don't know. This is coming from Konami, who uses the whole alphabet for weapons in their Contra games, so it's only appropriate. And again, it's Game Boy Color, so, like I said, it gets a pass. The game follows a Mega Man style where you select what stages you want to do in any order. I like the motorcycle level on the highway. It's a nice breakaway from the rest of the stages, which are all on foot. But I can't stand these fat biker fucks who don't even have an attack. They just get in the way, as if saying, "Hey, Spawn, come smell my ass sweat situation." Come on, get out of the way, you fat assholes. What the fuck? There's also these Speedo wearing guys in the background on jet skis trying to hit you with their missiles. That didn't sound right at all, did it? The boss is that child molester from the comics I mentioned before, Billy Kincaid. But this particular battle raises 3 questions I gotta ask. Number 1, why is he throwing canisters containing the evil dwarves from Phantasm? Number 2, why is it so fucking hard to line up my fucking shots? God, hold still, you asshole. Which leads to my 3rd question. Who the fuck is driving the truck? Hey, that rhymed! Most of the cast from the comics make an appearance. Jessica Priest, Clown, Overkill, and Tremor, who's all hopped up on sugar, or PCP. I don't know, one or the other. Or maybe both. Jesus, sit still, asshole! We also got the Curse, who looks more like Dr. Doom. Oh, there's the evil dwarves from Phantasm. That's where they came from. Yeah, the tall man must have made some business deal with Billy Kincaid and Curse. I gotta point out the little environmental details thrown in. Like right here, I'm pretty sure that movie poster is from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. But what's with these barrels? Who the hell stacks that many barrels that high, just randomly next to a building? There's tons of graffiti everywhere. The developers must have been big fans of the band Korn. Taco Taco, and wait a minute.
Is that the... Oh god, the Illuminati!
Is that a hooker? What? Spawn just punched a hooker in the vagina. This game is winning me over. By the way, you may want to wash your hands after that, Spawn. Beat all the main stages, and no ending because I have to play the hard mode. Of course. Typical Konami. Well, if you do up the difficulty, it pays off. Spawn rips Heaven a new asshole, free falls all the way down to hell, but first fights some 80s metal looking guy who summons guys who ram shopping carts into you. Okay. Wow, those demons in hell have good taste in music. Okay, so we fight Clown again, this time he's the Violator. Move on to Malbolgia, and then game over after we fry his ass. You know what? Not bad. I gotta be honest, I was ready to rip all over this game, but going into it with no expectations, it's actually a pretty fun little son of a bitch. Well, that was on the itty bitty Game Boy Color, so let's jump forward a few years and play on a full-fledged home console. Spawn Armageddon. This was on GameCube, PS2, and original Xbox. So it looks like they were going for a Devil May Cry type of game. Running, gunning, slashing, and jumping all over the place. Only problem is, this is like some sort of lazy, ghetto, white trash Devil May Cry. The camera is such a pain in the ass. It's wonky as hell, and just slides all over the place. Like, here I'm trying to wall jump up this building, as if I'm Samus, and the camera keeps obscuring the... Oh, come on, get out of the way! Fucking camera! I love these on-screen tutorials that pop up and stop the action every 3 seconds. Come on, what the fuck? I want to play. Oh my god, I can't believe I just said that. Seriously? Who programs a game to interrupt gameplay by giving you a text prompt in the middle of performing a jump? What a piece of shit. So most of the time between battles, Spawn spends his time breaking crates and pallets of paper to solve puzzles. What a badass. You tell that fucking crate who's boss. I know it's a video game, and puzzles create longevity and such. It's just funny to see Spawn resort to moving crates and shit to find a switch so we can open a door. I feel like he'd tell these level designers to fuck off, if he wasn't dying inside. Like in other hack and slash games, Spawn has a double jump, but in this picky game, he only grabs onto ledges whenever he feels like it. What the fuck? Come on! Get up there! Get up there! You know what else is awesome? Spending 20 or 30 minutes progressing through a difficult stage, getting killed, only to discover it starts you all the way back at the start of the stage again. Bullshit. The Game Boy Color game addressed this issue perfectly. Why can't this high-tech piece of shit? Seriously, then what's the point of these green checkpoint things? Apparently they're not checkpoints. They're markers to let you know where you've already explored, so you don't waste time getting lost and accidentally backtracking. Here's a better idea. Don't make the levels confusing as fuck. Huh, but you haven't seen anything yet. Give me another 3 or 4 minutes and we'll get back to that. If you do manage to finish a stage, you can upgrade your arsenal. All your shotguns and pistols and machine guns and shit. The gameplay is redundant as fuck. Like in the Aquaman game. Gotta clear an entire room of every single enemy before the next door unlocks. Like, look how big this opera house is. Who wants to walk that fucking far in a video game? Pain in the ass. To be fair, the pre-rendered cutscenes are good, and some of the boss fights are kind of fun. Yeah, come on, Violator, you son of a... Seriously? I'm stuck? Oh, that's just terrific. Okay, here we go again. I'm gonna kick your violating ass, Violator.
Honey, how could you?
It was easy. You're my bitch.
Damn! He just said a fucking swear.
Why are those brightly colored grapple points still in the background during the cutscenes? Kinda takes away from the game's immersion, doesn't it? Never mind, who cares? Eventually, like in the Game Boy game, Spawn makes it to heaven, and this is where those puzzles and difficult levels I mentioned before go way too fucking far. It's a space station run by angels with this big hub room and corridors with different rainbow-colored portals. It's a confusing, clusterfuck maze of constant backtracking and frustrating deja vu. So here's my attempt to sum up an hour-and-a-half playthrough of this bullshit. Get out your pen and paper. Okay, there's 5 of these generators in each sector, and there's 3 sectors. Leave the main hub room through one of these blue portals, and they'll take you to one of the 3 sectors. Now these sectors are basically another main hub room. Take one of the yellow portals, which takes you to a light blue portal. The light blue portals take you to one of 2 other generators. Then repeat it again on the opposite side. Then take one of the red portals, that takes you to one of the purple portals, which brings you to one of the final 2 generators, because the first one was in that main hub of that sector. Not to be confused with the big main hub room. If you get stuck in the purple hallway, you can always climb back up using that ninja jump move, which will bring you back to the yellow sector to get back to the subsector's main room. Now return through the big blue portal to get back into the main area hub room, and repeat the entire process 2 more times.
Okay, I'm done. My brain feels like it's gonna fucking explode from that shit. I'm done.
I failed.
Let's take a quick look at the Super Nintendo game. Go back a few years before the whole 3D takeover in gaming happened.
It's been a while, but I remember this one being pretty decent. Uh-oh. Acclaim. That's not good. They were behind Batman Forever. And we all know how that worked out, don't we? Well, looky here. It's a platformer, side-scrolling beat-em-up. With a jump button. You hear that, Batman? There's not a ton of bad shit to say. It's really just a good fucking game. Spawn's moves and animation are great. The enemies and level design are awesome. And the music is badass. It's kinda got that early Super Nintendo feel to it, like Contra 3 or Super Ghouls and Ghosts. The hell is that thing? Yeah, that furry thing over there. Chewbacca's squashed ballsack dyed purple? Okay, and here we have a pink hairy head with legs, with little heads on top of its main head, and it lets the little heads walk around on the ground. The fuck? Alright, there's only 2 complaints I have with the game. I hate the delay when you hit an enemy. You can't chain attacks together, you can only hit them once. So you gotta wait like 2 seconds to hit them again because they get knocked down. Come on, get up, die already. But here's the game's one massive roadblock. It's fucking hard as shit. Jumping from building to building, dodging sniper fire. Look at all this shit in my way trying to kill me. Fuck! Laser fences and guys with guns rushing at me? Christ, one thing at a time. Get away from me. I swear, everything is made out of spikes. Fuck! Bullshit death platforms. Come on, you fucking fire piece of shit. Fuck! Why does fire hurt Spawn anyway if he's from hell? And I love these environmental traps that hurt you, but not enemies. Bullshit! Okay, fuck this. Game is great, but this fucking difficulty is ridiculous. Of course, challenge is a good thing, but this game has a funny way of differentiating between that and smashing your face against the wall. But damn, is it satisfying getting past a stage that gave you hell. Literally. Alright, we've looked at 3 Spawn games, and so far, the high-tech 3D super advanced title has been the least impressive. How ironic. The age-old debate. Graphics and superior hardware don't always make better gameplay.
Well, guys, I guess that's all we got time for today. All in all, I'd say that the Game Boy Color title is probably...
Why, hello there, if it isn't Curious Crispy.
What the fuck?